Hi, and welcome to Tim Byrne Almost Live. I'm your host, Tim Byrne, and tonight I'm with Mike again from Aurum Window Washing. What a rock star he is. He's my favorite entrepreneur of the world. Okay, so there's only two things that wreck a marriage: sexuality and money. Sex and money. I don't think working with your wife is a good idea because it's really hard to go home and have sexy talk after you've had a day of bitching at each other over who hasn't paid what bill. I like to keep the two separated. It keeps the romance alive. I like going home and being with my wife and being able to talk about her day and share her enthusiasm, her stress, her worries, her good times and her bad times, like it's the first time I've heard the story, rather than her going home telling me she hates my guts because I made a stupid move at work. So by saying that, you know, it's funny, my in-laws, they've worked together for 40 years and get along great. But I think for most of us, I think the separating marriage from work is a good thing. I think it lets you love going home. And I'll be honest, if you don't love going to work as much as you love going home, you got a problem anyway. I hope you enjoy the show, and I'm going to keep loading glass, and I'll see you on the backside. How do you know in the estimating side of your business, since we pulled back from sales, we go to the estimating, how do you know when they're making a profitable deal, or do you try to make profit after they close it, or you try to define the cost / profit prior to submitting your bid or after?
So if we were being honest about it.
Yeah, well, we'll edit out whatever we do.
No, I'm going to be honest about it right now.
Okay with that?
And
in the background, like, hey, fuck, man, we're in this shit out.
No, Blue's laughing because he knows.
Listen, I know for a lot of the small stuff we do, the under 10 grand things we do, sometimes you go, fuck it, I'll figure it out after. I know that sounds bad, but as an entrepreneur, I can't afford the time to figure out every screw that's 2 pennies that I'm going to use. I'm going to figure it out over the course of time, not by transaction.
So we're changing that now. As I was telling you, I'm trying to get the human side out of our business, because mistakes happen when people are behind it. Yeah. So right now, how we're quoting presently is we look at a building, count how many drops, how long we think it's going to take, and we spit out a quote. 50-50. You're right, you're wrong, it's fine. Right? So
weather, rain, stage doesn't work, rope, whatever, fuck.
And
somebody kicks you off the building, get off my building today because I got a board meeting.
And I always laugh and think back at school how we like teaching costing and that's not how the fucking real world works. That's not how it works. Nope. 50 grand, you're going to make money? I hope so. We'll do everything we can to make money. Yeah. We're changing that now. So one of the things that we've invested is we invested into AI technology, which is going to be ready this fall. So our system is going to automatically quote every single building. So what it's going to do is twofold. It's going to calculate the square footage of glass in the building automatically anywhere on the planet. And you're going to figure out a price per square foot. Correct.
Right.
And it's going to know based on the AI comes in when it's easy to calculate, call it the facade. How do you know what's glass, what's not? That's where the AI comes in.
Right.
That's glass, that's concrete, you're quoting that.
Sure, that's a panel, glass, concrete, spandrel, parapet, blah, blah,
and eventually,
precast,
by integrating with through Salesforce, you're going to know historically, Brookfield sold between 42 45 cents a square foot. For example, you should bid this much on this bid.
Right.
And that's where there's going to be machine learning and AI, because my goal is, right now I have an estimator, I want to have no estimators.
Yeah, you want to build an algorithm.
Correct.
That
I can quote any pane of glass in the world.
Yeah, we do it by square foot, but I spend a lot of time on algorithms figuring out per square foot cost for this style. Like, if there's 5, 6, 7, 8 different building envelope systems, I try to figure out for each one what my square foot cost is, so that we can just do multipliers. An algorithm multiplier for everything.
You know what's fucking crazy? All this technology, it already exists. Everything I'm talking about, it's just the trades has been so dormant for so long. Like that's why nobody brought it in. We're not reinventing the wheel.
John Mullenhour from the Metropolitan Toronto Convention Center said the construction industry is the last industry to make a step forward and advance themselves.
Yep. I have competitors that still give out invoices on those Staples receipts. I'm not fucking with you. Seriously. Yeah. Like, I look at that, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's amazing how we're not willing to advance. We build our own technology in-house. Right. My challenge on my technician side, and by the way, I actually have installed glass and doors.
You were mentioning, I remember, yeah.
My problem, and I was a glass guy, and when you're covered in shit or you're tired or you're soaked in sweat, you got caulking all over your hands, what I realized I didn't want to type.
Okay.
I didn't want to type 36 inches by 94 inches, 2 pieces, la 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 la. I didn't want to type it. So I built all our technology around the Amazon platform.
Okay.
So literally, and by the way, it's irritated my customers a little bit. We've only been doing it for the last year. We literally, if you used a red screwdriver, you pick a red screwdriver. And I figured out the algorithm, how often that red screwdriver has been used over the last year globally. So I know it's worth, I'm going to pick a number because I don't know what to tell me. I know it's worth $1.25. So I've lowered my labor rate to almost nothing because in my head, McDonald's doesn't tell you that it costs you $4 for labor to flip the burger and another $3 for the patty and the bun. They just tell you it's $9. Mm-hmm. So I want to get out of any labor costs because my number one complaint from all my clients is your labor is too expensive. And you're like, you're right. It is the most expensive thing I have is my labor.
Right.
So I've now made I've lowered my labor to nothing. I made my screwdriver worth $1.
Right.
A roll of masking tape worth $2.20. I've literally figured out every single line item, but I've done it by photograph. So when the guys go on site, they go hammer drill, and they just touch it and it loads it. Red screwdriver, roll of masking tape,
right.
A hammer drill, impact gun,
right.
A pry bar, whatever it is. They pick all those things, and it makes the quote based off the photo you picked. Because I couldn't handle my guys, because I get work orders back. So you probably did the same thing. Maybe you didn't because you're slightly. Our business is fairly technical. We got a lot of miscellaneous parts and bits and pieces and hardware and clamps and doors.
Yeah,
and
you're a lot more
brackets
technical. We're cleaning bird shit off of glass. Yeah.
So the guys come back. Go. I fixed the door. And you go. You fix the door. What you do? And they go. Oh, I put in one of these. And it's a solenoid, but it's a 12-volt solenoid that's being reduced from a 24-volt. And nobody actually knows them all apart. And because in our industry, so archaic, even our manufacturing supply chain around us, they don't barcode it. They send it to you in a box, loose, 40 solenoids. And you're like, what is this? And literally, if you don't have somebody in here with some historical legacy, they go, that's for a Horton automatic. You
right.
wouldn't know. Is that, or like literally, you have to have some guy in the shop go, this is for Glenn Johnson. You're like, okay, how do we know this is for that? Well, I just know. I've been here for 30 years.
Right.
So I literally turned everything into a photo. So, right, document it once, and they see that photo, and they go, yeah, this is the thing I installed. There's the photo, click and pick. And nobody types anymore. But my customers now get all the photos.
I'm going to go take a step further than that you have to do it. My opinion on business is that every single business has an expiry date.
Yeah.
I have one today, and you have one today.
Yeah.
The only way to push that expiry date back is by innovating.
Yeah, technology.
That's the only way. So every company on the planet, forget about trades, has a decision to make. You either innovate and you embrace the future, or you try to resist it.
Yeah, I tell everybody you have a choice to make. You can either be Blockbuster or you can be Amazon, period. And you really have to make that choice. And any one of my staff that ever says to me, this is the way we've always done it,
right.
I'm like, and you need to be fired.
Right.
Because we will go extinct with that comment.
100%.
We will die.
100%.
If you say that's the way we've always done it, it's over.
Think about Kodak, Fortune
Kodak,
500 company.
Blockbuster,
yeah.
right? I mean, you look at the taxi cab industry, you look at the record industry.
Yep.
And I was like the last, and I'm 52, I was the last guy. I wanted to buy vinyl. I wanted to have a CD in my hand. I would not rent music. Well, shit, if I didn't change, I wouldn't be listening to music today.
Correct.
And I have thousands and thousands of songs I rent through Google, Spotify, and iTunes. I have all of them because some have different labels that don't carry different labels.
Right.
But if I don't make that switch, you don't survive.
It's not a choice.
No.
You have to.
No,
That's why it's not a choice to innovate. You have to innovate.
Yeah, it's funny though. It's funny when you talk about innovation. And you look at it on a philosophical level. As a planet, we will actually run to our own extinction if we don't innovate how to save it.
100%.
I really believe that innovation is the key to success, and I think that any company that stops innovating, you're right, is
it's an expiry date very quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at our industry.
Okay, let's go back in time.
Sure.
When did you know you had something that was going to go big? Was there a moment where you went, okay, this is not just a paycheck. This is not just me. Was there a moment where you went click? Was there a click?
If I'm being honest, it's when people talk about success. Like, I don't know about you, but it just happens. It's one day you wake up, and like you say, holy shit, look what I built. It's every single day. You're not really looking at it. You're not understanding what's happening. But when you do take a step back, I don't know, just a moment. They say, holy shit, look what I built. I think Will Smith has a really good line that says, like, you don't go out building a house. You can say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as I can. Then you build a second brick, third brick, a fourth brick, and all of a sudden you built a fucking house. Right. That's at least in my experience. That's like just one day I realized, holy shit, we became the biggest, and I didn't even see it.
Are your best clients your friends? Have you made friends with your clients?
Yeah, I have. I want to say they're my best friends, but you're obviously friendly with them. But no, like you can keep in mind some of my clients, I want to pull my hair out. I'm sure you do as well, but...
I find my best business is done with people I know well.
It's obviously easier.
And the ones that I don't know well are the ones I'm fighting with. The ones that I can't find resolution quickly.
Tim, if you want to become a global company, how many friends can you have?
That's where I was going to head with this, right? So you had to isolate yourself to some degree and have you let your salespeople have those relationships.
I tried to take myself, just this last 6 months, I took myself out of sales. I had to.
Yeah, I only estimate now. I don't do any selling whatsoever.
I love selling, keep in mind.
So do I.
And I took myself out. I'm building it to sell it. If I'm the sales generator for the company, who the fuck's going to buy me if I'm walking away?
Yeah, you need to eliminate you need to make yourself unemployed.
I told my sales guys, and I use this for one of my advisors, that I want to be a dancing monkey. I'm not there. If you need me to come in, dance a little in front of the customer, I will. But sure. I'm not there.
Clap things.
Yeah.
Right.
We're so great, blah, blah, blah. Walk away.
Does your wife work in the business?
Here and there.
Does she?
Yeah.
How is that bad?
No, not at all.
You don't hate it?
No. I would say my wife is probably the biggest force that brought me to the new level.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm newly married this last 4 years, and I work with my wife now and then, and I hate it.
Right.
I hate it for a bunch of reasons. It's hard to go home and be romantic and have sex with your wife when you worked all day. It's hard to come home and be both excited about your day because you both had your day together. Mm-hmm. And I really like the separation of church and state. So when I go home, A, I'm excited to see her, and B, it's like it's a new beginning, it's a new moment. And I've learned with all the bad relationships I've had with women, that if I don't keep my wife as number one in my life, so a wife 1, kids 2, work 3, and it can't be any other way.
If you're an entrepreneur and your whole life, life is work, I know, and that's my wife's theory. If my whole life is work, which is true, and if she's not there, she's never gonna fucking see me, and that's beyond true.
But you're gonna destroy your marriage long term.
Not at all. At least we haven't. Maybe we're lucky enough that we have. Don't get me wrong.
How long have you been married for?
I got married in 2013.
Yeah.
6 years this September.
You know, I get where you're saying that, and I was that guy back in my 30s, and I realized this round with my new wife that keeping her number one keeps my kids happy and healthy and safe because I'm now in good spirit and good soul, and it keeps my business level and moving forward.
So my wife is not in the office every day. She might come in once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 is that you haven't met my wife, but all our hardest collections she deals with. Let me put it this way. So she has very, very thick skin.
Sure.
So it's not it'd be very hard for me to offend her.
It's just hard to send them flowers when they're sitting in the room next door. It's just hard to send them
send the flowers next day.
That sexy text and tell them that you still love them.
Don't send dick pics. I don't know what you want to say.
Right, no, right. Especially when you're in the office. Yeah. You're like, here's a dick pic, and she's like, oh,
HR. Yeah.
Right, what the fuck are you doing? I just think that and you being married, me twice. Once was for a very, very little time, and one was for 10 years. But I think that you don't realize they say the final straw broke the camel's back. Mm-hmm. Over the course of your marriage, you start putting straws on, and they're really light, by the way, on that camel. They're really light. The animosity straws are really, really light. And about 10, 12, 15 years into it, there's a lot of fucking straws in that camel's back. And the problem is you don't know the first one. I had an affair on my wife.
That's a big straw.
It's a big straw. Ironically, it is a straw. It wasn't the first straw. And affairs are a...
byproduct of
byproduct of something else.
Yeah.
A byproduct of the other fucking 3,000 straws that were on that camel's back before its legs collapsed and fell on the ground and died. And I think that when you work with your wife, you don't even realize you're tacking on those straws. And today I tell my wife all the time, and we work together, so I can't say we don't, but I do my best to keep it in. So WhatsApp, WhatsApp, this last 2 weeks, I literally made a WhatsApp chat for my wife and I that says work, and another one that says love. Mm-hmm. So that we can separate the two, because it was really hard to go, what the fuck, why are you doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G at the office?
Right.
And then go, I love you, what are we having for dinner tonight? Can't wait to see you. Mm-hmm. Right? Because she's like, fuck you!
Right.
You just fucking gave me shit or whatever, right? And I need to separate church and state, and I'm really trying to manage this to long-term success because I don't want those little tiny straws building up. And you don't know they're happening. That's the problem. You really don't know that. You don't know that you've dumped a couple on there. And the problem is you can't get them off. Those straws never make it off that camel's back. So you have to be really careful not to stack them up too fast.
I don't know, Tim.
No, see, that's the kicker, right? I would tell you that I didn't know this either when I was your age, right? I fucking didn't have a clue that I was a workaholic. I mean, the first time I got offered to sell, I was like, no, come back to me when I'm this big.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, I was, man, okay, fuck, I'm worth something. And then as time went on, and I mean, I've lost a kid and divorced and so forth, so I've had a lot of weird stuff going on in my life. But the other side of this coin is I now don't care whether I sell or not. I care that I live well, spiritually, personally, not just financially. Like I need I need money. I'm greedy, but I also need to make sure that I have life balance now. And I guess maybe when you get in the last 25 years of your life, you kind of go, okay, you know, I need to fucking have some life balance, right?
So my perspective also changed. Before I wanted to be a billionaire. Now I'd rather have 100 million, be happy, stress-free, than have a billion and pulling my hair out.
Right?
So my perspective also changed. Because as cliche as it sounds, money does not buy happiness. It really doesn't.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm glad you're still awake. I am your Wednesday night drive home, or any drive home. You can watch me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I am Tim Byrne. This is Tim Byrne Almost Live, my podcast for property managers and construction people. We interview all kinds of different vendors and trades, and we interview customers like Oxford and Kingset and Bentall and property managers and VPs and owners. And we interview staff. All right, check that truck out behind me. Everybody's okay. Let's start there. The guys that were driving it are okay. These guys hit a school bus from behind. 30 kids on board, and those kids are okay. Everybody's healthy, safe. There were no injuries. God bless, right? Do me a favor, everybody. It's winter time all across North America. Weather's changing. It's getting a little darker at night. Be safe. Keep safe distance between each other. The only thing that's going to get worse in most metropolitan areas is the traffic, but our attitude can always get better about driving. I'm Tim Byrne. This is Tim Byrne Almost Live. Keep your head above the foxhole. Whew, there goes my dog. Keep your head above the foxhole. Stick your head above the foxhole. Don't worry about a foxhole. Fear is what's stopping you from sticking your head above that foxhole. Have no fear. Raise your hand up, ask questions. Don't worry about failing. It's okay to fail. Failing's good for you. It makes you smarter. You gotta fuck up in life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.